Started with me doing this.
Okay. All right, let's see it before we do our thing. Thank you. That's very special, by the way. That's good. All right, thank you, Jonah. That's very clever. your special box hats.
Special box hats.
Yeah.
I gotta make another one.
That's funny. All right, so we've got Destiny doing the packages. Okay, so if there's any issue with your package,
It's all her fault.
I'm more than happy to give you Destiny's personal cell phone number, and you can call her anytime, day or night. Here's the studio dog.
Especially 3 in the morning.
Being especially lazy. Is that racist for me to say that? No. All right, Janine. Hey, Janine.
Stop racist.
Janine's gonna paint this very special dragon.
Yep.
Because Janine is special.
Me and my airbrush.
That's it. Come on, Thomas, quit screwing her. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. Why does this seem like really short?
Because your fingers tall.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. No,
I'm just kidding.
I'll take a bow for super tall.
Okay.
Fantastic. The ladies love the tallness.
I think that I lowered that.
Did you lower it like an inch? Why did you? What is it? Is it not straight? What's going on? What? No, whoa, easy now.
Oh,
easy now.
I remember lowering this.
Yeah, I already heightened it back up again. All right, come on, Thomas, quit screwing around. Let's do this. I got my seafoam green polo on. I feel like a champ.
You need to just
with my
pop the collar. You might
FSGP.
You might as well just go the whole distance.
That's right. Let's do that.
That's awful. It's terrible.
I saw this picture on Facebook where a guy had like 12 polos on and they all had popped collars.
I think the Crimson Death is pretty interesting.
We're talking about the Crimson Death, folks. That's where we're going with this.
I think it's really interesting. I think that it will definitely like do what it's supposed to do, which is I mean they get to re-roll penetrating hits against that does not cause a glancing or penetrating hit against flyers. And then if you take the formation, they have preferred enemy against flyers and flying monsters creatures.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, and they can hurt. They could hurt a heavy like a squad of like heavy troops, right? Because you're talking about 2 bright lances and a
I actually
pulse
did
laser.
great against the orcs with them, just like pass after pass after pass.
The problem is that I think this guy is better.
Yeah, hold on, we're getting there. This is what interests me, is that the Crimson Hunter formation, granted it's like 450 points, but it can blow up anything that can blow it up. So unless you like deal with that thing right away, oh man, even just one, you know.
Well, it comes down to who has.
Because you get that first strike. It comes in.
Yeah, well, it depends on who
12
comes in first, right?
Right.
Because if you're playing flyers against flyers, then sometimes it's better to go second. Because the enemy flyers have to roll for their reserves first, come on the table. Then your flyers can counter come on and blow them up. And the one thing, and yeah, you get to re-roll your cover saves with those guys, especially with that. With the formation.
Okay, hold on.
But you're still talking about something. If you have something that ignores cover, they're tissue thin. You know.
But what ignores covers and can hit flyers?
Well, a vehicle that has been given a psychic power. So here comes my Storm Raven onto the table. My librarian that's standing there gives it whatever the power is. I can't remember the name of it, that ignores cover, and he blows 2 of those. He blows 2 of those guys up because he has Power of the Machine Spirit and a multi-melt and a las cannon.
This sounds like a challenge to me, Thomas. I challenge you to a game of Space Marines versus Eldar.
All right, sure, yeah, I'll play.
The Imperium is weak.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know.
I don't think
what do I say?
I don't even know if I would actually bring a Storm Raven. Like, if you bring these these guys, these jet fighters. If you bring jet fighters, like I don't even really care, right?
You don't even care.
Like, sure.
Okay.
Here's the thing, right? Like they have what?
Oh, Thomas.
3 shots apiece.
Okay, go ahead. 4.
They have 4 shots apiece.
Yeah.
4 shots apiece. That mean, and they're not necessarily twin linked. Ballistic skill 3. That means 3 hits apiece. You may roll a wound. So you may roll 1 to wound. So you're only wounding me 2 or 3 times apiece, right? And I could have Jinx save or Storm Shield. I mean, I could have invulnerable saves or cover saves. And if you're shooting, if you're spinning that formation or those guys shooting a tactical marine, that's a plus for me. Like I'm like, yes, shoot that tactical marine. I don't care, right? versus the Hemlock Jet Fighter, who comes with psychic powers of nastiness.
Okay, now let's talk about the Hemlock.
The heavy D
Where'd
sides.
you put the rule book?
I've got it right here. The rule book? I don't know.
Oh, hold on. Before you go any further, I want to show this. This would be a great Eldar color scheme right here. It's a Corsair thing.
I don't know if they can see that.
Come on, they can see it.
The lighting is kind of poor.
The lighting's awesome. Ooh,
Anyway,
very contrary.
you bringing me Hemlock Wraith Fighters and or the Vol support battery where you're talking about ranged strength D that are blasts, like that's a lot more scary to me than some, you got some bright lances.
The D cannons, huh?
It's very cheap. Very cheap for, 185 is not cheap for a Hemlock Jet Fighter necessarily, but
185?
yeah.
What? Go back. What is that again?
That's the Hemlock Jet Fighter. It's less than a Storm Raven. Like, I'm looking at it thinking, man, that's
185? Oh my gosh, what does this thing do that's
he's a psychic level 2 and he has 2 heavy D sides.
Okay, let's start with the heavy D sides. Heavy D!
I mean, a heavy D side is an 18-inch range blast weapon.
And it's
strength D. Yeah.
So what does D do?
Okay, if you roll a 1, nothing. As with everything else.
Okay.
But if you
By the way, right after this, I'm going to listen to some Tenacious D.
If you roll a 2 through 5, everything you do damage to, it only get cover and vulnerable saves, and they take D3 wounds per successful wound.
Okay.
Right. So how it works is you put the blast down. You say, okay, I got 5 hits, and then, people can correct me on the internet. You get 5 hits. Each one of those produces D3 wounds, and then you roll your saves against the wounds.
So if I covered 5 guys and rolled my D3s and got 10 wounds, could 10 guys potentially die from that? Or does it do multiple wounds to each guy?
You gotta check the rules. I don't know how that works.
It
could go.
Yeah, there's a little bit of debate.
Could be
on
either
this.
way. I don't know enough about D weapons to say that without. I've heard.
Are the D weapons in the main rulebook
now? They're in the main rulebook now.
Oh, okay.
But if you roll a 6, they're just removed with no saves of any kind, and including no cover, no invulnerable. I don't care if you're an Eternal Warrior, you're just gone.
I don't see D weapons in
Destroyer weapon.
Thank you.
It's like
163.
Yeah. It's not.
So
it's
keep
not
going
pretty.
on the Hemlock. So it has 2 of those. What other weapon does it have?
It's a Psyker. It's a level 2 Psyker, and it doesn't have set powers, so you can give it different powers. So you could give it
what tables can it be on? Can it be on?
I know it can be on Demonic Sanctic. Sanctic, Runes of Battle, and Telepathy. So the thing could get invisibility for itself. Runes of Battle will give it guide, so it could guide itself.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Can it have Runes of Battle? What can it have?
Runes of Battle.
Runes of Battle or Telepathy. Okay, got it.
And it can have it can have Demonology too.
That's pretty cool. So wait, Runes of Battle is the Warlock one, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, that's not
then
guide.
never mind. It can't have guide.
But it can give itself concealed. Here, just look at it. Okay. So, cover saves and invulnerable saves can be taken against hits from destroyer weapons.
Well, the question is whether or not. You're right. It can come with
unless a devastating hit or death blow result is thing. Assume it has strength 10. Oh, a destroyer hit do not carry over to other models in the unit.
Okay, so it does D3 per
guy
per model.
That doesn't. I don't see what the big deal is about it.
Well, the big deal is that now on a 6, your model isn't getting save of any kind and removes it. Sure, right. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a character. You're talking about a beef character who has has a 3+ invulnerable save anyway. Yes. He makes the save. He's like, it doesn't make any difference whether or not you got to do D3 wounds or not. But what happens is when you're talking about a unit of guys who has, even something like this is why I imagine that from a balance standpoint that D weapons are becoming more prevalent in the game is to eliminate things like the 2+ rerollable Death Star units.
Oh right. Yes.
And I don't have a problem with that. I think it helps eliminate that problem in the game.
Yeah.
My problem is that I don't think it's a good way. It's not, you're breaking something else to try and fix the past problem you had. And that's just a general thing that Games Workshop has done rules wise
Right.
for the last 2.5 years. Like they break something else to try and fix the past problem, if they're even thinking in terms of balance at all. And that's where I'm just kind of like, man. From a gameplay standpoint, I don't think that it's very like I don't think it's a good mechanic.
Because I thought it was to balance like big things on the board, like, you know, because you could like knock out a gargantuan in one shot.
You can't knock out a gargantuan in one shot. It does, the destroyer weapon does a different type of damage to a gargantuan or a super heavy. It doesn't just, you can't, on a 6 you just get to roll a d6 plus 6 hits or something like that.
Right,
Or
but that's a lot.
D6 hits instead of, yeah.
D6 plus 6.
I don't know if it's D6 plus
Whole
6.
points. It is.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a lot, right? Like, so yeah, maybe you still could, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that D6 plus 6 against a vehicle and D6 plus 6 wounds against a model. So that's great, right?
Right. Like, what does that not automatically kill? Only something with this enormous amount of wounds.
Right.
8 or more wounds or 8 or more hull
I mean,
points.
but here's my problem is the fact that it's not, it's number one, it's not universal. And number two, it's all money
It's not
grab.
universal?
Okay, you can't like not everybody has a plethora of D weapons. And
right.
especially now we're talking about Eldar who can get D weapons for 32 points.
Right.
32 points for a D weapon, whereas before you're talking about hundreds upon hundreds of
Oh, the
points.
Wraith cannons. So
I'm talking
hold
about
on.
Wraith cannons or the
Wraith Guard
the Val
have them.
the Val's battery.
The heavy weapon guys, right?
Yes, the Hemlock
support
jet
weapons.
fighter.
The Hemlock has it. The Wraith Knight has
Wraith
them.
Knight has it.
What else? I think that's it.
Yeah. So what else do you need?
Okay, I don't know.
You don't
Probably
like
nothing.
it's all the fact that you're talking about stuff. We'll see. We'll see in June. The rumor is that Space Marines are coming out in June.
Okay. Oh, the Hemlock can have the telepathy default power of Psychic Shriek.
Yeah.
And it has the Mind Shock pod that gets leadership down by 2 within 12 inches.
Right. That's just insanely stupid.
And that's just another shot. It's
and
like a
there's
psychic
there's
thing.
another mechanic that we're
That's
talking
awesome.
about. The fact that
The leadership thing.
psychic powers in general. Like
Okay.
the reason I quit playing fantasy was because I thought magic was too prevalent.
Oh, right. Okay.
And now you're just talking about 40K having too prevalent
There's
magic.
a lot of great telepathy powers too. Shrouding.
You're right. The most broken power. The
Invisibility.
most broken power in the game is in
Invisibility.
Is in telepathy. Yeah.
It's invisibility.
It's invisibility.
Right.
Yeah. It's broken.
You can only be hit in 6s in close
Yeah.
combat or shooting.
Yeah. And you can't have blast weapons put on you.
Oh, you can't?
It's broken.
What? It doesn't say that.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it can only snap fire. And
Yeah.
blast weapons can't snap fire.
Yeah.
Wow. So flamers and stuff, no good.
No good.
Oh, that's ugly.
Did you not know
What?
that?
No, I
this
didn't.
This has been a big deal for about a year now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since 7th edition came out, which
Well,
was
I've
almost
been
a year
playing
ago
against
now.
orcs almost exclusively. Ah,
No, it's
I can't.
it's fairly
I can't. Hey, Steve, what up?
It's
I
fairly
can't
broken.
possibly see the end of orcs. Soon enough.
it's fairly broken.
Okay,
Like
good.
units that can bring there's a Forge World Space Marine Space Marine librarian who can choose his powers out of the telepathy table.
Right.
So he can
Severin
Loth.
Loth.
He can bring invisibility. Yeah, that's a build now. Like people are just like, oh, I just bring Severin Loth, so I can guarantee that my Centurion Star has invisibility.
That makes that hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Because you have toughness 6.
5.
5.
It's broken.
Yeah.